this good? Okay. Yeah. All right. So I know you guys are tired, so I'll try to make this kind of quick. Today I want to talk to you about how autonomous drones can revolutionize the way we save lives. So I know like a decade ago you might remember, but delivery drones were a thing. We were promised that one day we would have drones that could drop off products to us within minutes. And this was a promise, and it never actually happened. It's 2023 now, and these promises of like reducing climate change, of eliminating traffic, all of these promises were never seen through. But despite the fact that this never happened, there were significant advances in autonomous technology, which has led to the development of many different applications, which have revolutionized a variety of fields. So my name is Tanish Karnala. I'm a sophomore here at Milton High School, and I'm very passionate about applying my background in engineering and computer science to have a meaningful impact on the world. So last year, my robotics team and I, we competed in robotics, and we actually made it to the FRC World Championship. And despite being a broke, inexperienced team without a mentor, we were still able to get the Rookie Inspiration Award. And I wanted to use that experience to build a project that would really help out. And it was around this time that I also learned about a really big problem that we have, which is wildfires. So I know every time you guys turn on like the news, there's a new record-breaking wildfire in our on the headlines, right? And so what I wanted to do was to make a project that would address that. So wildfires are incredibly horrible to our environment and to humanity for a variety of reasons, right? So wildfires are preventable disasters, but the key thing is that wildfires grow almost exponentially. So what starts out as a small fire, maybe a cigarette or something like that, can grow really big when it's left unchecked. And the real problem is the fact that identification methods today are really, really ineffective. So as you can see, I have some statistics up here. So wildfires have negatively affected over 6.2 million people from 2017, and they've resulted in 2,400 deaths. And this will just continue to keep getting worse if we can't find a good way to solve this crisis. And not only that, but $8 billion a year are used to fight these wildfires, and over 5 million acres of land is just destroyed in this process. So the real key thing is the fact that climate change has completely made this matter a lot worse. If you think about hotter and drier weather, this just makes the conditions in our forests more vulnerable to wildfires, right? If you think about what burns better, like dry wood burns much better than healthy wood. So hotter and drier climates have increased the frequency and intensity of wildfires significantly. But the worst thing is that we don't have a good way to solve this. Current identification methods are really ineffective for several reasons. So the main two ways that wildfires are identified today is through satellites and lookout stations. So satellites, as you know, are really expensive, they're hard to maintain, and they're hard to develop. And this means that as wildfires grow throughout the world because of climate change, that many countries around the world who don't have the resources to fight wildfires will not be able to implement satellites and stuff like that. And second, there's lookout stations. Lookout stations can be really effective, but the fact is that they're so spread out that they're never really that good. 85% of wildfires are started by human activity. And the fact that wildfires occur at night, oftentimes because of human activity, means that these lookout stations become really ineffective. And this is why a better solution is needed. So I developed an autonomous drone that uses neural networks to identify and respond to wildfires. So how does this work? So the autonomous drone is simply a vehicle for collecting data. And that data is photos and its sensors and other things that can be used for detecting wildfires. So the way it works is that a flight path is set. So this drone can go up to 20 miles in any direction, which gives it a really large radius. And that allows it to collect a lot of data over a wide area, and it helps people respond to wildfires effectively. And additionally, the autonomous drone collects data that augments its photos as well. And then the convolutional neural network is the way that we process data. So you can collect a lot of data in a lot of different ways, but how do you take a look at a picture of a campfire and say, that's a campfire, not a wildfire? Or how do you take a look at carbon emissions and see that that's a car that's idling and not a wildfire? Well, the way that we do that is a convolutional neural network. A convolutional neural network is just a fancy term that says it's a system that takes a lot of data into it and provides an output. So the thing that we're looking for when we're doing this project is we're trying to see if we can identify wildfires. And the way that we do that is by establishing this network. So the autonomous drone can patrol a section of land while providing these sensor readings and photos. And so then we take that data and we implement it into a neural network, and that's where we get our confidence rating. And so when combined with a neural network, this system can provide data about wildfires which cannot be seen from satellites or lookout stations because they're real time and they aren't seen in any other way. This method is incredibly easy and cheap to scale up. If you think about the cost of wildfires, billions of dollars a year, and satellites and other systems are millions or even billions of dollars a year. Most countries, most local counties, they don't have the resources to actually implement something like that. The model that I made was made for less than $1,000. With subsidies, with other resources implemented, we could have an extensive network of these drones for a fraction of the cost that wildfires cost today. So here are a couple of pictures. I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on here, but I'll try to explain my best in the next few slides. But as you can see, it's relatively small, and it's very low. It's not very loud, and it has GPS and a lot of other sensors that helps us get better results. So here are the main parts of our drone. There's the GPS, which helps us provide location, and it also helps set the autonomous flight path. And then there's the lightweight materials. What we wanted to do with this project was maximize the amount of area covered, and to do that, we needed lightweight materials, and that means that we get the best efficiency from them. Additionally, we have a carbon dioxide sensor, an infrared camera, and a high definition camera that we attach to the Raspberry Pi for onboard analysis of the data. So a neural network is a very, very fancy term, and all it means is that it looks at a bunch of different terms and says, okay, maybe there's a fire here, or maybe there's not. So the way we use this is that a convolutional neural network is very efficient, and it's very lightweight as well. Lightweight in the term that we can run it on a Raspberry Pi and hook it onto a drone and have immediate analysis of the data. So we create filters and layers are just a simple way of breaking down an image even further. So as you can see here, this is our feature map. So if you give a drone a fire, right? So as you can see in the top photo, there's 3 pictures that are given of a certain fire. So the layers are what the fire is looking for. The advantage of a convolutional neural network is that it develops its own methodology for identifying fires. So it'll look at patterns. Is there a fire? Is there swirly patterns in the bottom? Is there a lot of smoke coming out? Stuff like that can help it identify it. And so as you can see, as we're going lower and lower, there's the system is getting more specific in the layers and the filters that it uses, and that just helps us provide a better confidence on our end result. So lastly, these are some statistical analysis. Basically, all it says is at the very end of our process, we determined that we could identify wildfires with 98% accuracy. That means for a fraction of the cost of satellites and other identification methods, we can identify and respond to wildfires better. This gives our frontline workers, our firefighters, our essential services the best chance of combating these fires and minimizing the risk that it poses to our communities and to our environment. So lastly, I want to talk about some other applications of this technology. Even now, like today, drones are being used to save lives in Africa with blood samples, as you can see in the middle. That's a part of Zipline's project that provides blood transfusions to the entire country within 30 minutes. Applications like these have saved lives, and it's going to keep getting better from here on. Yeah, that's it.